Welcome back to Society Case Files. My name is Robert, and today I want to talk about this terrain. I've got some cool videos sweeping around it and showing off what it's like, but ultimately, this is some Necromunda / Kill Team / whatever you want to use it for terrain that I picked up from an awesome seller on Etsy, and the quality is just incredible. It did take a little bit of time to figure out how to put it all together, but once it became clear, it was super simple. Most of it clicks together with some little pegs, which I'll show in a few moments. But for the most part, some of it just slides right in, like these these stairs that you see over here just slide into a little connector that keeps it aloft. And then you've got the causeways and these platforms. There's tons of little extras that came with it, like these barriers and the cool reactor thing in the center. And over here, we've got a tube of some kind. Just really cool decor. I'm using a skirmish mat for the bottom. However, tiles are available to go with it as well. They're just quite a bit more expensive. But they also look amazing, and they can match this paint scheme, which I did spend extra to get it painted automatically. Otherwise, I think it comes in black or gray. You can look at that, and then you can, of course, paint it yourself in whatever scheme you want. I personally didn't want to have to paint this much terrain, and so I was happy to allow someone else to do it, especially considering it wasn't that much more money, and definitely worth it. I'm in the US, so I did have to pick this up from the UK. But, I had this crazy stigma about ordering things from overseas that it would just take forever. But in this case, it came so fast that wasn't really an issue at all. I think it took a grand total of, from the time I ordered until I received it, I think it was 12 days. So not bad. And that's 12 total days, not 12 business days. Much quicker than even sometimes when I order from the East Coast. It takes longer to get materials. So anyway, that's just sort of an overview of what I've got going on here. I'm going to bring the camera in closer and sort of talk about the different layers and how it works and show off what's going on. Fortunately, I did have 2 full gangs of Necromunda painted and ready to go to help illustrate just how awesome this is, because had it been empty, I think that would have been a little less cool. But knowing what we've got going on here, I think this really helps bring it together and show you just how amazing this is. It also provides you with some scale, because as you can see, we do have some really nice verticality on this map. And then the different little bits, like some of these ladders, which I'm going to show you, are actually detachable. You just pop them off and put them wherever you want. And that goes also with some of the rails as well, which I should point out, this is definitely for people who are not, how shall I put it, hyper enough to be whacking the table and bumping into it constantly. You do have to take some care, because some of these are just barely on here, like this is on here, and it's not going to fall off if you jar the table too much. But if you shake it, if you give it a good shake or you really bash into it, I think that some of this stuff would, some of the extraneous pieces would fall off. So that's something to keep in mind, but that's not against the build. That's against us as gamers being too boisterous when we move around and we're moving minis and everything else. Because besides those pieces that you just slide on, this is very sturdy and just, again, very awesome. So anyway, let's move on to getting a little bit more in depth with it, and then we will proceed on and wrap the video. All right, here we are with the terrain, getting in nice and close. I'm going to focus on this section first. You can kind of see this platform is very well done. Lots of really cool details. It looks great. There's with an Escher on board, just to give you a sense of scale and size there. You come over here, and these stairs are very neat all around. It keeps going up, and then we come into this section here where you can really start to see the reactor, which extends up, and up, way above the battlefield. You can see way back there. I'm going to zoom in. You can see like one of my little barriers with a guy behind it. And then up here, we have a couple of characters hiding out here. The platform in the back. Another set of stairs. And then one of my favorite features is this elevator. The elevator is really cool because this platform down here can move up. I'm going to do that really quick. And it has all of those levels that you see that you can put it on. So it couldn't actually go all the way to the top. I knocked one over one of the barriers there. Right now, you have plenty of room to play. This skirmish mat's 36 by 36, and I think it's more than enough space to get a good Necromunda game going. Okay, so I wanted to come in a little bit closer and sort of show how some of this is put together so that you can kind of understand what's going on here. So this little section here literally just pops on. You can see it's got grooves on the bottom that just slide right onto the platform. Very simple. Same with the ladders. The ladders are exactly the same. Here's one. And then the individual pieces have a very clever system where they click into place. And unfortunately, I have done a good job putting it together. But I will show you the bottom. So this section here just pops off. I don't necessarily want to break it, so I want to be very careful. However, there you go. And it's modular. So technically speaking, I could build this a different way if I wanted to. I did it the way they showed in the picture. The big trick here is that I do have the beginning video where I tried to start assembling it on camera, but I ran into some trouble because I was having some confusion, and therefore I just took it down and then just built it with my wife with some help. But the picture did a good job of showing me where things went, so I could kind of understand how it works. You could see that it was black before it was painted, since we didn't get the bottoms painted or anything, which makes perfect sense. And it is flat and smooth under here. But the tops are just really cool. I mean, look at the texture. It's just great. And all of it's like that. Now, this centerpiece here is modular as well. The top pops off. And then the middle section is actually on better than that, but it does pop off right there. I'm probably not going to take that off because it was kind of a pain to get it back on. But this was very cool. Kind of acts as the really neat centerpiece, which is just massive. Combine this with like my Zone Mortalis Gang Stronghold or anything else, and I think you pretty much have all the terrain you need. This was the least expensive option. There are some that are more expensive and equally cool. A little bit bigger. But all around, I am thrilled with this. And I would highly recommend it. The link to get a hold of this will be in the description. And all the information you need to pick up a copy. I wanted to show you the card of the place that I got it from. It's Dire Wolf Scenics. And there's their information. And again, this will be in the description. All around, absolutely worth it. Terrain is very expensive, especially when you start talking about things like the Zone Mortalis plates that I replicated with this skirmish mat. I mean, for 4 of those, it's like $80. So this would have cost a lot of money to get, and instead I got the skirmish mat for $60 and then bought this awesome terrain to go on it, and then add my own that I've already picked up and some of the walls from the box sets. And ultimately I think I can have any battlefield that I'll need, and there are ways to do this without spending an arm and a leg, and this really proved that to me. I was worried about quality of buying something that was a little less expensive, but those fears are gone. Anyway, that's it for the awesome scenery I picked up from Dire Wolf Scenics. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. And what do you think of this kind of terrain? What do you use for terrain? What's your favorite option? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you again next time. Bye now.